Let me be your nerd. Let me be your nerd now. I say it, baby, 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 baby. What the hell was that?
Very nice.
Right back around here. All right, here we are. Welcome to the Grizzled Geek Podcast, episode 38. I'm Mike.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Doug.
All right, we all know who we are.
Yeah.
We actually have an intro. We're actually doing way better than we have been. Look at this. This is
Only
crazy.
took us 38 episodes.
38 episodes to get it down. You know, it's all new and improved, Doug. That's what.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie Tango. Thank you. It worked. He could hear it this time.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's a good thing or not that you could hear it, that's the question.
And you had to cheat to do it, but still.
I did have to cheat to do it. I don't know. I mean, literally, I have to use. I am using Firefox for StreamYard because I can't share a screen in Chrome. But now, at least when you hit the share screen button in Chrome now, a thing pops up and says, we're having issues sharing screens in Chrome. Try Firefox. And then it cuts everything out. So it's got a pop. So when you close the pop-up screen, then it shuts down Chrome. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Boom. All right, guys. Boom. It is May 8th. May 8th. Man.
Yeah. Year's going quick.
It's like, all right, because is it me or do any of you have problems like understanding why people are, like upset about the quarantine thing? Because I'm like,
yeah.
So far I'm loving it. I get it. I understand you need to work, you need to earn a living. I get that. Yeah. But I'm like, man, everyone's like, I can't wait for this to be over and we can do stuff again. I'm like, nothing really changed for me.
Right.
I mean, I'm a little hairier than I normally am, I went out today. Our local game store, Imperial Outpost in Glendale, Arizona. They opened up today, only 5 people at a time. You had to wear a mask, to stay apart from people in the store. But I went out there, signed up, got in line, and opened right at noon there. So, but I actually put on shoes and socks for the first time, I think, in 2 months. I mean, I'm rocking like drawstring shorts and sandals for like 2 months now. And now I'm like, well, I got to put on clothes. I don't know what it says about me that I need to put on shoes to go to the game store, but I'll walk into the grocery store with sandals on. I don't care. But it's important. The game store is important.
Yeah,
I got to dress up for that.
People that you know.
Exactly.
Dress to impress, right?
Yeah, I think I saw Matt there, Doug.
Oh yeah.
He said hi to me. Everyone's in masks, so it's hard to tell.
Oh yeah.
He's like, hey man, how's it going? I'm like, hey. I don't know whether you recognize me from, do I game with you? Do I know you? I'm like, I can't tell who people are. Because everybody's like got shaggy hair and wearing masks. So
yep,
they all look the same.
How's the paint supply look over there?
It looks, hey, he's good. He just got a big Games Workshop order in today. So
nice.
I picked up primer because I need a primer today. But I've been ordering paints online. I've been online ordering, man. I kind of, the bug hit me. I've been buying stuff online. So,
I know that it hit me actually this week. This week is like, you know what? I don't have anything better to do. Let's spend money we don't have.
Spend money we don't have on stuff we don't need.
Exactly.
What's more American than that?
I bought makeup. Things you don't need, but I bought it.
Nice. Oh my goodness. So what have you guys been up to during the quarantine? Kirsten, what have you been doing? What'd you do for me? Oh, sorry.
So trying to finish Final Fantasy VII, because every time I think I'm at the end of the game, I'm not. I just got to part 3. I didn't know there was a third part to it.
Nice.
That's funny.
And this is just the first one they've released, right?
Yeah, this is the original. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Ben. Ben's in the chat. He's here for a bit. He says internet's down at home. Welcome.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
We had that issue like 2 weeks ago here. Cox kept going in and out.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bummer.
We just bought a new multi-band router for the house. There was like, before people in the living room were all like, "Oh man, the signal's weak. I guess I have to put up with it." Lazy. Now it's like, no, I need the internet now. Now it's important.
It's a necessity now.
We're throwing down a 300 for this.
Cool.
Oh man. So yeah, Charlie Tango's he's still working, playing a new game in open beta called Starborn. I haven't heard of it. Have you guys heard of Starborn? Well, it's a beta, so I mean, that's cool. Man. Oh man, Doug, what have you been doing? What did you do for May the 4th?
Watched the Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian. That was cool.
Oh, there's a new episode of that out today.
Yeah, and there's a new one out today, so I haven't had a chance to watch that one. Watched the final. No, wait. Was it Friday that was the final episode, or Monday that was the final episode of Clone Wars?
May the 4th was the final episode.
Yeah. Okay. So I watched that. That was about it. Shared Star Wars memes at work.
So Charlie Tango says he says think civilization in space real time against 5,000 plus other players.
Yeah, you lost me there at the end.
Doug doesn't like people. Play with other people. That's I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't like open world games that much.
Did you guys have tacos for Cinco de Mayo?
Yes.
Naturally.
Yeah, there you go.
As any white person does.
Yeah.
Although I gotta tell you, Cinco de Mayo was crazy. I delivered, DoorDash there, and every Mexican restaurant had giant lines for pickup, and there was no social distancing. People were just crammed in there. I'm like, Cinco de Mayo is going to kill more people than anything else.
It's the Mexican Thanksgiving. It's a strictly an American holiday. And Mexicans don't know anything about Cinco de Mayo. Like what's that?
Yeah, the funny thing is, I showed up. I'm like, what is going on? Are these guys having a special or something? And they're like, it's Cinco de Mayo. I was like, no. That still happens to go? Come on, people. I can understand, filling out the places that have bars and stuff like that, but yeah. And it was on the border, so it wasn't even good Mexican.
I know. It's just like, it's an excuse. It's an excuse to go. I'm like, Mexican food, do something, feel like I'm out of the house. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. What about that the finale of Clone Wars? Don't want to spoil anything yet, but holy crap, huh?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's probably the best episode so far.
Well, some people say it's the best episode of the series, that's high praise right there.
That is, I will say that's flat wrong. It's not that good. The ending is super good, but the episode as a whole, and I've seen several people online talking about the episode as a whole was your standard running around down a bunch of corridors, having a running fight. There was some pauses for emotional moments that were very cool, but the running fights were just like, meh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, but it had the emotional heft.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's not a good episode. It is a good episode. If you are a Clone Wars fan, you will probably love it. It was a little different than I expected because it did not play exactly into what you thought from what you learned in Rebels.
Have you read the Ahsoka novel?
Oh yeah, I have.
So it was kind of different. The ending because 66 happened when she was still on Mandalore in the novel, and then she was on her way with Maul when it happened.
Oh yeah, I didn't remember that part.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different, but
yeah,
I think it was way better in this than it was in the book. Anyway,
yeah, and a couple of people pointed out that Maul is way more powerful a Force user in this than he was ever really made out to be. He was more of like a fighting machine. Right. Here he's like, I can see the future, and I've got super telekinesis, more than most people.
When he wrecked the hyperdrive, that was pretty powerful.
Yeah,
pretty powerful use of the Force there.
Well, and he pulled an Anakin by as well. Where he's like, I'm dodging blaster bolts.
So
it's like, okay.
Did you see that theory? You saw the Mandalorian prison thing he was in to suppress his Force powers. On the front of that is a hooded figure that people are saying is Revan, which would make sense right? And if you look it up online after this, you can see the picture of it up close, and it does. It looks like Revan, which makes sense. It's a Mandalorian, force cage to trap the Force users. Of course, I don't think Revan was ever in it because he beat the Mandalorians. But just saying. What about you, Kirsten? Did you do anything, for May the 4th? Did you dress up like a stormtrooper and get arrested in Canada?
Naturally.
Did you guys see that?
No.
Did you see that? Oh man, this little girl, or it's not a little girl, she's a teenage girl, whatever. She was dressed up as as a stormtrooper outside of a comic store or whatever for May the 4th, but she had like a stormtrooper blaster, and she had like cops with shotguns pointed at her. They arrested her. They arrested her, and somebody filmed it. It was like she's crying. She's like, it's like a girl getting arrested for. They went crazy after that shooting in Canada. They're like, oh no. Yeah. No stormtrooper guns. That's like, yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. I said, yeah. William Shatner went off on Twitter about it. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, cause some kid was driving by and saw her in a stormtrooper outfit, and he filmed it on his phone. The whole thing, and they're like, they had guns trained on her. She's in a stormtrooper outfit in front of a comic book shop. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm wow.
Times, so
Yeah, I guess. I'm like, but anyway. So, Kristen, sorry, what did you do?
We didn't do anything fancy. I don't even remember what we ended up doing that night.
Did you watch something Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Totally.
That's the right answer.
On the Disney Plus access that we totally have.
Oh, crap, that's right.
Mike's falling down.
I am falling down on a job. Let me get that. I'll get that information. All right, guys, we wanted to jump into it. We've been, gabbing on here for about 10 minutes.
Sure.
Talk about our first story. So we know for a fact that there's been a D&D movie in the works for quite a while now. Now all of us are D&D fans.
By in the works, we mean they've talked about it.
They've talked about it, right?
And some studio owns some rights and stuff.
Well, they're saying we're going to do it, but then there's not hear anything about it. It's just been in the works forever. But they made some moves on it, and some pretty big ones actually. The new movie, it's got the former Marvel exec Jeremy Latcham has signed on to produce this and the series of D&D movies for him through his production company. And Latcham has spent 13 years at Marvel. He was an executive producer through all the major movies, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy.
So why is he former Marvel? Do we know?
He struck out on his own with his own production company. So
that was probably a brilliant career move.
Well, he built himself up. If he can make more money doing this, it's like it's like being in the military in the U.S. and then going to South America afterwards to train other military guys
and get captured in Venezuela.
Right. Exactly, and get captured in Venezuela. He's like, I was a cook in the Navy, the U.S. Navy. Yeah, okay, you're in. You're hired.
Keep going.
Yeah, but anyway, so he's got Spider-Man: Homecoming writers Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley are writing and directing the movie. So cool. Now the question is, we've seen. I don't know if you guys have seen. Kirsten, I know Doug has the original D&D movie that came out. It was it was kind of D&D.
Yeah,
I don't believe I've seen it.
It's hilarious. It's one of those you watch it to like a drinking game every time someone overacts or every time you see some bad CGI. It's pretty bad. Like, and it has Jeremy Irons in it as a bad guy. Only he was way overacting his part. It's got Thor Birch in it. It's got that's being generous. Charlie Tango says, yeah, it's pretty god awful. The only thing cool in it was Damodar, which was the Jeremy Renner's henchman, his night guy, his Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah.
He says, think Raul Julia overacting in Street Fighter. That's how the overacting. There's very cringeworthy overacting by Jeremy Irons, who's a good actor, but I'm I don't know. He's he didn't take it serious. He had didn't it have one of the Wayans brothers in it as a thief?
Yep, he was the partner of the main guy.
oh my goodness, like the only person to take that movie serious was Justin Whalen, who was the Lois and Clark's what was it? The sidekick. What's his name?
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen. Yeah. So he played Jimmy Olsen on the Lois and Clark series, and he was like the main character or whatever. He's like the only one who took it seriously. He's like a big D&D fan. But they had weird shit. Like they distracted a beholder by throwing a rock. I'm like, and it worked. I'm like, don't try that in my game, by the way. But, yeah. Marlon Wayne, that's what. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then they had
seen the spoof of that one, the Gamers Dorkness Rising.
Yeah. Does everyone say hi to Armando and the dog? Yeah, I know. I have not seen. I've seen Dorkness Rising. Yeah, I have. They did a follow-up movie to that went straight to the sci-fi. It was the Dragon. I don't know. It was a sequel. Damodar was the only one that was in it, and that was actually a decent one. It was decent in that compared to the first. But it was like I don't know. D&D movies. I don't know. Do you guys think this is? I mean, everyone's like so far they've done 2 shots at it at a live action D&D movie, and they both kind of sucked. What do we think about this new one?
I don't know. I can't foresee.
It's got a Marvel executive producer
being taken seriously. Like, I enjoy the spoofy, like, funny things that make fun of himself because, I mean, you have the fun D&D stories that you tell with friends and whatnot. I don't know. I just can't see that someone else's story come to life and being like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I hope they do the cartoon.
Yeah, that's how it would actually be.
That's the only way I would be like, that would be super cool. Because I don't care about Dritz. I don't want a Dritz movie. I would probably not go see it.
No Forgotten Realms. Really?
Yeah, I don't. I have literally never read.
What about a Dragonlance movie?
Well, I mean, that could be cool. The
Yeah,
problem with that is that it is not really that much of an open world. It is pretty much
it's a set story.
That's a set story, and you follow that story. Whereas if you do the cartoon, you just have to have the beginning the same,
right?
And then you can go.
Charlie says no Dragonlance, please. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean that's the perfect thing. Like where they're actually like teenagers that play D&D, and then they get trapped in the game, kind of like all a Jumanji kind of thing, right?
Right.
And they're sort of trapped in this world, and they have to escape. And it's got it's got
well,
all the
it doesn't
monsters.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it can still be fun,
right?
And I don't. Same reason that I don't want an Elminster movie either, because it's just.
Well, that doing a cartoon would separate it from a standard run-of-the-mill fantasy movie, right? Because D&D, what is that? What makes it D&D? You use a couple of their monsters. Otherwise, it's just
Yeah, because I mean, a D&D movie. You've already had the ultimate D&D movie you could have. It was called Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So I mean,
right.
And you've got the D&D show. It's called Game of Thrones. It's like.
But making them real-world people trapped in that world would make it a D&D movie, right?
Yeah.
You can have all the D&D monsters. That's what would give it the unique spin, you know.
I mean, you could always make it by having, like, the iconic monsters that we all know and love, like bugbears and whatnot. Like, you could throw an adventure story using names and, themes that we've seen across the different plot lines. It just, I don't know, I can't see it.
Quick, Mike, we have to write up a treatment for Lords of the Vale.
That's true. We're going to do our D&D. We'll send it off to them. Look.
Yes, and this would
be
the best.
Now, the thing is, it's all Hasbro owned now, right? So Hasbro's the one doing this deal. They are hell-bent on building their extended universe with G.I. Joe and Transformers and all their properties. They wanted all their other properties to be part of the one world. Is there any chance you think that Hasbro will want to try and cram a D&D movie in with? I mean,
no. I mean, well, no, I don't think so. Because there's no recognizable like toys or anything like that to tie them into. So I don't think they're necessarily going to do that. Now, are you saying Hasbro owns the movie rights or Hasbro bought Wizards?
Hasbro bought Wizards. Hasbro owned his own Wizards for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so the movie rights, that's why there's movement on this now, because they have all the movie rights under their Hasbro, movie company that they put together to do all their properties. And so that's why there's movement, and they actually hired some real people, not some like, hey, you like D&D, you want to direct a movie? Like Charlie Tango said, this Latcham has got a good track record, so
We'll see.
We'll see. Like, I'm worried. Like, I don't want them to cram this into like their shared universe thing. They want to try in this amalgam, whatever they're trying to do. But yeah, and Charlie Tango said you need something without too much backstory or explanation, and that's true. But I mean, you could do like that in a simple setup. Like literally, we knew the setup for the D&D cartoon in the like the opening, the opening little bit. But all right, what do we think?
You don't want the Snake Eyes versus Drow or anything?
Optimus Prime fighting a dragon.
Yeah, there you go.
We've already seen that, right? Only a mechanical one.
Yeah, true.
All right. So, bottom line, knowing all this, knowing that we've got Spider-Man: Homecoming writers to write and direct it, we got Latcham as an executive producer on this. Are we excited about a D&D movie now? Knowing all this,
not until I find out more.
Not until I find out more. I want to make sure there's no tie-in with other Hasbro stuff.
Not even that. Just I want to know that they're going with. I want to know they're going with the cartoon, because if they're going to just do some generic fantasy movie, then no, I don't care.
Life and Times of Elminster.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I'm not saying like the Forgotten Realms could be cool if you did like a. I know they're not your favorite, but you could do like a. What do you call it? Harper story or something where you don't use named characters, you just use this organization everyone's heard of.
Ben said he'll watch it. Ben's down.
Charlie says he wants to see more details.
Yeah. Ben, we're probably all going to watch it, even if it looks like a train wreck, just because we're going to have to report on it, how bad a train wreck it is. Just because, we play D&D. Kind of have to check out the D&D movie.
Yeah.
Like, I was super excited when the D&D movie came out, even when I was like, they got Marlon Wayans in it? All right. Yeah. He's like a funny guy? All right. Well,
and not the really funny one?
Yeah. Like the third funny one?
Yeah.
You get the third best Wayne in there. All right. All right. Who wants to take the next story?
I'll take it so that way Doug can talk about what follows up.
Disney Plus.
All right. More Than Theaters are upset about Trolls World Tour now. The stars of Trolls, Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick, were taken by surprise that the studio announced that World was going to be straight to video on demand. While the movie has done really well, experts say that it still could be in red, and the stars are upset because they're not getting their box office bonuses, which kicked in at the 350 mil mark. Studios do not have to release video on demand numbers. The stars are upset about the lack of transparency and exactly how much the movies have made.
Right. So if it was in theaters, it was obvious when they get their bonuses, right? They'd be like, oh, you hit the 350 million mark, I'm going to get my money.
Right.
Now it's like, now they're touting like, oh, we made a ton of money with this, but they don't have to release the numbers,
Oh,
and now they're like, well, where's our bonuses?
It's a bit TV, like there should be something in your contract where they're, they are required to give full numbers or something.
Yeah. Well, because there's no regulations on video on demand because it's new, not new in that it hasn't been around for a while, but new is in that's the way we're doing movies now.
Sure.
Right. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this? You think? It
could be another stick in. This is Universal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could run into a issue with the Screen Actors Guild if they're not careful here.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's I guess first I'm like, wait, these actors made money. What are they waiting for the bonuses? But I guess
Right.
a lot of them take lower pay, for these kind of movies that they're, to have that bonus as their pay for these movies.
Of it being successful, yeah.
Yeah, and then if the movie's really successsuctive.
Here's the thing: Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick are big names.
Yeah,
but they're not. I wouldn't call them A-listers. They're more like B-listers. They're probably not making
in film, 10, I guess. Yeah,
they're probably not making 10 million a movie.
Sure.
I'm sure. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. They're probably only making $1 million or $2 million. Well, that's only, but still, they're probably not making huge.
So bonuses are more important for them then.
Yes,
which is
correct.
I see. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Universal didn't really think everything through when they came out and were like, "Well, we're doing video on demand now. That's how we're going to be doing stuff," because we made so much money with this first one. And they probably didn't even think like, "Well, we got to tell the actors that we're doing on video on demand release," because they didn't plan on it. Like this wasn't planned. Obviously, right. This was planned for theaters, and then we're all in quarantine. They're like, "Well, release on a video on demand so we can make some money back on it." And then it was a big hit because everyone's stuck at home. And now they're like, well, we made all this money and we don't have to. And the great thing about video on demand for the theaters or for the studios is that they get all that money. There's no split with theaters, right? So when it makes money, the profitability is really high for them because, they get more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's enough for animation and the money is in the bonuses. Yeah. So yeah, they're getting shafted. They're, going to need that money. So and you figure if they're making more profit on it, I don't know why they wouldn't just. I guess they're trying to protect themselves because they're losing money, not having theaters open anyway. So they're trying to keep their profits down. They figure if they don't have to say anything, but they already went off saying how much money the movie made. They're just not being transparent about what the profit is because the profit has to hit this amount, but the profit's higher. So I don't know. All right, there you have it. Trolls World Tour making news again. All right, Doug, hit us up with the next one.
All right, let's Disney Plus updates. We'll start with the Marvel stuff. We've got WandaVision was reportedly already done with its filming, so we'll probably go first and come out this year. So because when Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they couldn't finish filming when the quarantines hit. That hopefully will change here in the next month or so. They'll be able to go back to Prague. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. That'll be curious to see whether or not they can start filming again. There's also a National Treasure TV series coming out, or being in development, I should say, reportedly focusing on a younger Benjamin Gates. But you got to be honest, never watched a National Treasure movie. Not
really? You've never seen?
Not all the way through.
Oh my goodness! It was actually the first one was pretty good. I mean, if you like Indiana Jones type of adventure thing.
Yeah, and I keep meaning to go back and watch them all, but I just don't. So,
I mean, it's Nicolas Cage, and it's a
yeah.
So Did you hear he's gonna be the Tiger King?
Yes, I did hear that.
Was that confirmed? I heard that was.
No, he's blown up. He's going to be the Tiger King.
I mean, come on, crazy actor to play a crazy guy.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: do we really need a Tiger King series?
That's what I was saying. Like
we've seen real life. Right? Are they gonna?
How does it get any better than that?
Yeah. You're like, we already
or
seen.
Worse,
or worse. Exactly.
Right.
What you mean there?
I don't know how you can get crazier than in real life because know. It was already pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Charlie Tango says the National Treasure movies are a good time. It'd be good if they could tie in the movie, the more actual historical elements in the National Treasure TV show. That's true. I like. There's a lot of American history in the National Treasure movie, right? And a lot of like folklore kind of stuff involved in it. You know what? I can't really. I just know I've seen the second one. I just can't recall. Other than they ended up on Mount Rushmore. I don't know if that was the first one. I think it was the second one.
I sense a young Indiana Jones kind of feel.
Yeah, which I actually like.
I did. But did you know that it only went 2 seasons? It apparently wasn't very popular.
Charlie Tingle says he doesn't need a Tiger King documentary or the TV show. He lived in Oklahoma, so yep.
Sorry,
that's your people.
Yeah, you're crazy people who shot some McDonald's employees.
Oh my goodness!
A couple of days ago in Oklahoma, that was
it's crazy stuff going all around the world, man. It's just like it's getting picked up.
But also on the Disney Plus note, we don't have it here in the script, but should note that Disney is putting out more docuseries stuff. Not only do they have the Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian, they also have a show called, what is it called? Disney Insider, which is it's only 17 minutes long, and it's 3 short clips about different things within the Disney sphere. Like the first one covered following Katy Perry backstage for American Idol while they were at Disney's Aulani in Hawaii. And it talked about Grace VanderWaal as Stargirl and looked kind of like back behind the scenes of making Onward. And then the second episode dealt with Diary of a Future President, which is one of their original shows. Some stuff about Mulan, and then a couple of legendary Disney animators looking at their old stuff from, The Lion King and things like that. So there's a lot of cool things there if you like those kind of docuseries. And there's another one called Prop Culture, which is this kind of independent movie prop collector who goes around and looks at props from Disney movies. Like the first episode is all about Pirates of the Caribbean. So he goes down to the Caribbean, to a village they filmed in, and looks at what props are still there in the village. Then he goes to Disney vaults and looks at some of the props there and stuff. It's pretty cool. And
nice.
Some interesting stuff I didn't know, like there are some original movie props that have been put into the ride at Disneyland. Like the Ink and Treasure chest that's from the movie is in Pirates of the Caribbean and Disneyland now.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Had no idea, but it's there. So those are kind of cool little shows that give you kind of a little more Disney fix if you like that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And then lastly on this, in a recent poll and based on online searches, Baby Yoda is now more popular than Darth Vader.
Shocking.
Shock.
Yeah.
I mean, Vader had a good run. He's been the most popular character since 1978.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't beat the cuteness of Baby Yoda.
Yeah. I watched a E.T., I think it was, interview with Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
And one of the questions they asked him was, does it upset you when people call him Baby Yoda instead of the kid or whatever is
the child or whatever?
The child, I think, is his script name. And he's like, no, that's cool. You just kind of roll with it.
Yeah. It's like, meh. What, of course they're going to call it Baby Yoda. He doesn't have a name. He doesn't have a species.
Right.
It's
what
Baby
can
Yoda.
you be mad about? The fact that you haven't given him a name?
Yeah. So the thing is Darth Vader is badass. Baby Yoda is cute and badass. So, yeah. I will say that Galleria documentary, the first one thing that surprised me is when I saw as we were walking around with the Darksaber, right? And I forget because now the new lightsabers, since the original lightsabers in the first Star Wars movie was just like highly reflective tape on wood, right? So it'd reflect the light around it. And then they went on with like plastic poles, and then they just CGI'd stuff in for the prequels and for later Star Wars movies. But now the new Disney Star Wars movies, what they do now, and it's what they did for The Mandalorian, is they actually have a light up saber. So it reflects light, that whatever color lightsaber it is, on the surrounding. So if you light up a red lightsaber in front of you, your face glows red because there's red light coming off the lightsaber now. Which, if you look back at the old ones, none of them had glowing whatever color it was. It didn't light it up.
Yeah. And
then it just CGI. They punch it up with CGI,
Yeah.
right? But they're walking around on set with glowing lightsabers.
Right.
So when I saw like the back, that first episode, he's walking around with like the Darksaber. I'm like, holy crap, that's a non CGI Darksaber, and it still looks like a lightsaber.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm like, oh, I want one.
There's plenty of people who make them out there. It's just they're expensive.
Oh, they are
very expensive.
Yeah. I'm going to throw that kind of money. I'm going to do it at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Where I have the joy of making it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I foresee I'm going to spend lots of money doing that because I'm going to be like, I want this kind of hilt now.
Yeah.
I want this color now. Whatever.
Yeah. So I already pay the whatever $100, have several $100s to get into this Disneyland just so I can spend several $100s.
Right, for you to make this in front of me. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Unknown Reaper's in. How's it going? Welcome. We just got to talk about Disney Plus. Let's move on to Superman Returns, maybe. So early last year, Henry Cavill left the role of Superman behind. We lost Henry Cavill because WB wanted to focus on a Supergirl movie, like a weird Supergirl movie too, like with Brainiac as a bad guy, and it was set in the 70s. Really, really crazy. Supergirl. It was all the big things. So like, oh, we're not going to focus on Superman anymore. We're going to go with this. But it seems that there's several things that have come together to kind of change that, including but not limited to negative fan reaction to that announcement and the loss of Henry Cavill, the massive success of the Witcher series, and new management at WB. They all combined to kind of change the story a little bit now. So what we're hearing now is that the Supergirl movie is no longer moving forward. So we're not working on a Supergirl movie at all now. And instead, WB wants to return to Superman movies, right? Do a third Superman movie. And they also want Henry Cavill back, which of course
they do.
Right. Now, he's said several times that he's willing, he wants another shot at it,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because he just finally got to the Superman. He finally got to be the Superman that we know at the end of Justice League. Now, whatever you think about that movie, the one thing they got right in that movie that they hadn't in Man of Steel and all the other was Superman, right? Now, I'm not going to hear bash on Man of Steel because actually, I kind of like the movie as far as the WB movies go, but that wasn't Superman from the comics, right?
Yeah.
But by the end of Justice League, he was. So I was excited to see that version of Superman, the one we all know and love. So I hope this works out. I mean, obviously, I think they're heading in the right direction with this, but who knows? What do you guys think?
That'd be cool. I like Henry Cavill a lot, so that would be cool to bring him back.
Yeah.
And I don't, I wouldn't mind a movie that included Supergirl.
Right.
I don't know that enough people know a lot about her. I mean, Wonder Woman's one thing. She's pretty iconic.
Right.
You need to introduce a Supergirl before you try and give her her own movie.
Yeah.
I think. And I would love, they don't tend to do full on storylines, but I would love for them to do the storyline where Darkseid corrupts Supergirl.
Yeah.
And
that would be
she's
cool.
a bad guy for a bit before they free her. And that would be a fun way to get her in the mix. So
Charlie Tango says just keep Zack Snyder away from it. Fair enough. And Matt from Absolute Geek Podcast, welcome. He says, boo, move on. Fair enough. I mean, I can't, when it comes to the Warner Brother for DC movies, I can't blame anybody for being done with, with whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But I do love Henry Cavill as Superman. I would like to see him be actual Superman, not some emo, brooding Superman.
Oh, right.
But all right, there you have it, folks. Our main stories are done. Now it's time to focus on our nerd nuggets.
Nerd nuggets.
That's right, nerd nuggets. It's everyone's favorite. The little bite-sized stories. All right, let's see here. Doug, you want to kick us off with the first one?
Sure. Arrow showrunner Mark Guggenheim is adapting Rob Liefeld's Prophet comic as a TV series. And I had to look Prophet up, and I was like, I've seen him before.
Big shoulder. Let me guess. Big shoulder pads, headband.
No, I mean, not even just headband. He's got the full-on like
like a Shatterstar face
yeah,
mask?
he's got the Shatterstar like boxing face mask. I forgot how dumb he looked, and I don't remember anything about him. I don't remember what his abilities were, what his story was. So I gotta admit, I liked his Rob Liefeld's super team, which I forget the title of. I have the set of the first like 4 issues of it, but they were like FBI superheroes essentially. What they were, but that was the only solo Liefeld thing that I ever interested me.
You weren't Youngbloods? You weren't a big Youngbloods?
Oh yeah, Youngbloods. That's it.
That's it. All right.
Yeah, Youngbloods, the FBI. I think they were associated with the FBI or something like that, but they were
government sanctioned heroes. Yeah,
government sanctioned heroes. But yeah, and I mean, I liked all the stuff at Marvel. I loved the New Mutants. I loved Cable, but.
I love reading chat here. Charlie Tango's like, where are they going to find an actor with small enough feet to play a Rob Liefeld character? They're going to CGI his feet ankles. Small and get rid of his wrists and ankles. CGI out their ankles. Matt says, no thanks. Like, come on. As big a Rob Liefeld fan as you are, Matt, I can't believe you're going to turn against Prophet. That's such a major one.
Is it wrong to not want people to mess up your enjoyment?
Oh my goodness! All right, Kirsten, you want to hit the next one? I think this is what Doug was talking about. Oh no!
All right. Dave Filoni, during an interview with Deadline, teased the continuation of Sabine Wren's story. He said he hates to drop stories arcs. When asked what medium, he said he mentioned that he works with live action world now.
Yeah, so he teased the return of Sabine Wren. And he's like, well, I work in live action now.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because that's not the direction he went in the E.T. Interview he did. He basically said, we look at the story and we look at what medium would be right for it.
Right.
Because they asked him, are you thinking about doing a live action movie? And he goes, well, we'll see. I just started in live action. It depends on the story and what medium it belongs in. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a Sabine Wren story. And here's the thing is, if you do a Sabine Wren story, it's a Sabine Wren and Ahsoka Tano story. Or it's very short and only deals with the year or two she was at the Imperial Academy before she struck out to join the rebellion.
Right.
Those are really the only 2 options you have.
True. Well, if they're going to do Ahsoka Tano, they're probably that's going to be their.
Well, and wasn't there the rumor that what's her name signed for more than just?
Yeah, well, she signed on for multiple things, so she could be.
Yeah. So.
And this is kind of tying in with our next story here a little bit here, but before we move on to the next story, just want to share with everybody what Prophet looks like. I don't look up what he looked like here. Matt says you better have more pouches than any human being rightfully should. Oh, and Corbin's in here. Hey, Corbin, what's going on? Comic book barbarian. Love me some nerd nuggets. Of course he does. It's where we live on. But yeah, aren't you guys excited to see this in live action? Look at that boxing head pad.
Beautiful. With
the hair coming out the side of it. I mean, that's just, and look at those shoulder pads. Oh, man. I just I look at that and I'm like, oh, I mean, how can I not support that movie? That's just that's magical right there. All right. So, yeah, Sabine Wren. Are we excited to see her?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited to see her. But I'm not as excited as I am about this next one. Apparently, Boba Fett is going to return in The Mandalorian Season 2. And not only is Boba Fett going to be in Mandalorian Season 2, the Kiwi actor Tamura Morrison, who played him in the prequel, or played Jango Fett in the prequels, is signed on to play, his clone son Boba Fett, which he's the right age now, right? Boba Fett would have been older in the Mandalorian time, and they're saying that they kind of they teased him in the first one. Like I said, was that a prediction when the whoever the picked up Shannick Fenn, I guess was that her name? Who everyone thought was dead, and then at the end they had a little teaser with somebody walking up, and they had like that spur sound when he walked, like Boba Fett has. I'm like,
all right,
maybe Boba Fett. I mean, how do you feel about this, Doug? Tamir Morrison reprising his role, or actually, he's not really reprising his role. He played his daddy.
Yeah,
but his son's a clone of him, so I guess he's going to look the same of him anyway.
Yeah, and I like that actor, so that is cool that they kept him.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! So
be fun.
Let me see. He was in something big recently, wasn't he? Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Where is he?
Aquaman.
Aquaman. That's what it was. I was trying to think. I knew he was in a big budget.
Yeah, he was in
movie.
He was Aquaman's father.
Yeah, it was Aquaman's dad. So awesome. All right. All right.
I guess we're back to me, huh?
Yep.
All right. Russo brothers said during a recent interview with Collider, Mike's writing, they've confirmed that their Hercules live action for Disney will not be a literal translation of the original. When asked about the music, they said they can't say one way or the other, but admitted there would be riots if Zero to Hero was not in it.
Absolutely. If they did not have the song Zero to Hero in a Hercules movie, it's not a Disney Hercules movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I'll probably watch it. It could still be good. It's Russo brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live action Hercules, but it's not Disney Hercules without that song.
Yeah.
So.
And they do have a lot to work with because that movie, more than any of the other movies, has very little actual substance to it. There's
he trains. He becomes a hero. Yeah. And he fights. Hades.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it goes from. It goes from like he's like a kid to he's a full-grown adult. There's this like giant transitions. Nothing of really any substance happens.
Yeah.
For big jumps of time. So there's tons they can play with. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I liked it. I liked the animated, but I think the animated Hercules is not so beloved that anybody's going to be freaking out about what they do with it. They've got a lot that they can play with, and nobody's.
Oh, you don't think it's beloved enough that they could? You think they get rid of like Zero to Hero song that people wouldn't be upset about that? That's an iconic song. I mean, the movie's not
songs that they would definitely need to include, but as far as like story adaptation, as long as you have the songs, how you get to them, so long as it makes sense, I don't think people.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I mean, got to be honest, I don't remember all of Zero to Hero other than that line appears.
With the Muses singing? I mean, come on.
I actually am not a huge fan of the Muses singing.
Oh, really?
Mostly because
Doug,
they suck up so much of the screen time that isn't plot. You're just like, come on, Muses, come on. But whatever.
All right. So Matt from Absolute Geek said, you bet they get Chris Hemsworth because he's as Hercules because he's in all the movies they do now. But Corbin said, why not Zachary Levi? Which, I mean, they're probably going to want a younger looking Hercules than Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know
Chris Hemsworth when
he's all beefed up.
Yeah, Corbin's upset about your not liking the Muses. These are my heroes.
The gospel singing Muses was just kind of like, all right.
Oh man, I liked them personally, but I agree with you.
The narrators that sing what's going on. It's awesome. And they interact with the people going on, so it's not just someone telling the story.
Yeah, I was going to say Charlie Tango's good.
Hemsworth is Zeus. Ooh,
yeah,
that's
what I was saying.
That would be cool. Yeah,
he's got the comedic chops too to do because Zeus was pretty over the top.
Yeah,
so I think that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, because of course he's going to be in it because Russo Brothers are going to do it. But make him Zeus, older. Yeah. What do you think of Zachary Levi as Hercules? He's got the abs for it. He's got the abs, man.
don't know. He's too old.
You know, is he too old? You gotta have him really young for Hercules. Oh man, I don't know. I'm now that I've said it, I'm picturing Zachary Levi, and I'm like, I like Zachary Levi as an actor too. So I'm kind of like, he's like one of the few. I don't
have a better idea right now, but
and he's a former Disney kid, so one of the few that didn't wreck his life. So.
Yeah.
Zac Efron. Okay.
Well, yeah, and he knows how to put on the weight. He can put on the muscle. So.
Watch him cast someone crazy like Casey Affleck. Oh my God, Corbin. That's or Dave Franco. Yeah, those is Disney. They got a little more tight control and that kind of thing. I don't think they let them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. I liked it. All right, I liked the Hercules movie. I was an adult when it came out. I really liked it because I like Hercules anyway as a character. Yeah. But I like the Disney version. But I agree that I'm not as beholden to that story as like if they don't want to change the story up, as long as it's a Hercules story and it has Meg in it. As long as it has Hercules, Meg, the Muses, and they sing Zero to Hero, I don't care what they do with the story. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Matt says, I'm straight as an arrow, but Zac Efron will make my heart flutter. Nice. All right. So, Hercules, we're excited about it.
Yeah.
All right. Who's up next? Where are we at?
I mean, on a more somber note, Deadpool 2 producers are going to be fined $300,000 for the death of the stunt woman Joy Harris during the filming. Right.
Now this is more an example kind of thing, as not providing a safe filming environment, although it was kind of a freak accident. It's a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, whenever you're doing stunts in a movie, that's kind of...
So is this the studio finding them, or is it a civil... Did they make
It's the guild. The guild is finding them.
Okay.
It's finding them because it's more symbolic. They're because they have insurance against this kind of thing, but it's a show that that they to have safer work environment for the stunt crew. But yeah, that's a rough one. But I mean, I think it's right. I think they should it's an example.
Yeah.
I mean, if they really want to set an example, though, I think they'd go higher than the $300K was basically where their insurance covers it. That's why everyone's wondering about the amount, where the amount come from, and that's what they're insured for this kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So they find them. So that's why it's symbolic because they find them just enough that it's going to be covered. Right. If they find them like $600K, then they actually had some out of pocket money there.
Right. Yeah.
Might hit a little harder. All right. So. Ghost Rider live action project is officially in the works at Marvel, although no one knows whether it's for Disney Plus series or for a movie, although everyone's pretty much saying it's probably going to be Disney Plus, right? And they just canceled. I mean, Disney last year stopped the Gabriel Luna Ghost Rider series that was going to be on Hulu when they reorganized everything. Mm-hmm. So this is actually going to be Johnny Blaze. So this is going to be original Ghost Rider, OG Ghost Rider.
Nice.
Right? And it's not going to be Nicolas Cage. So he's moved on from Ghost Rider. He's doing Tiger King now. So,
yeah.
But who it might be, and the thing is, they say they want to complement like the Moon Knight series that's coming out, right? And Blade's announced. There's also talk about Blade. They're saying like, well, I don't know if it's going to be a movie or it's going to be a TV series, but there's talk that the Blade movie that they announced might be folded into a TV series. And then they can do the Marvel Knights.
Marvel Knights would be awesome, yeah.
Yeah, because then you have the Blade, they'll have Ghost Rider, they'll have Moon Knight, all the kind of like the creepy, street level heroes. Mm-hmm. Although Ghost Knight's pretty powerful for a street level hero, but he's like on the edge there. Yeah, Tony's all, hey, welcome, Tony. He said, no Nicolas Cage. Yes, I agree. Johnny Blaze, that is the Ghost Rider. Although I will admit, the Gabriel Luna Ghost Rider was pretty good. I mean, it matched the comics. On S.H.I.E.L.D.
He was awesome on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
They did a great job with him.
But I agree, Johnny Blaze. If you're gonna start him off in the Marvel universe, you got to start with Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Right. So, but the big rumor is that this is the role that Keanu Reeves was meeting with Marvel about. So when it came out late last year that Keanu Reeves was meeting with Marvel, everyone's like speculating, was it Moon Knight? Or Moon Knight was a big one. But now they're saying it's, Johnny Blaze. What do you think of a Keanu Reeves, Johnny Blaze?
I think he'd do better as Moon Knight, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see him as the tortured soul as much as the I think he could do better with the is this guy crazy or not kind of character versus the tortured circus stuntman kind of character.
I think he'd be a little more gravitas to the role than Nicolas Cage did.
Well, yeah, sure.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm down for Keanu Reeves play whatever in the Marvel Universe, and the fact they're bringing Johnny Blaze into it, I'm like, I'm fine. I agree with you. I kind of would like to see what you do with Moon Knight, but so we'll see what happens. But yeah, Matt says the Disney needs to start an R-rated Marvel line. Yeah, I don't know if that would ever happen on Disney Plus, but it wouldn't happen on Disney Plus, but I mean they can push the boundaries a little bit there. Do like a kind of like a because the Marvel Knights needs to be a little darker.
Yeah.
So, but all right. You say Keanu Reeves is perfect. He killed it as Duke Kaboom. Nice.
Who was Duke Kaboom? I guess I don't remember that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think Keanu Reeves can pretty much do whatever. I'm down for it. He was in Toy Story. Duke.
Oh, got it.
I'm thinking like, oh yeah. Like the Evel Knievel toy.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
All right. So, what we got? Our last story, Doug?
Yeah, sure. I don't even know why you included this, but all right. Tom Cruise is going to shoot a movie in space. No, literally in space, aboard the International Space Station. And because you can't, blow up $1 billion actual International Space Station, it's not a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? Actually going up into space. Normally when they do like space like scenes, they put them up in like the plane to go in the upper atmosphere or whatever, and
right.
the weightlessness thing. But now he's actually going to be in space. It's gonna be the first movie shot in space, and of course it's Tom Cruise.
Of course.
Without knowing anything
crazy
more
enough
than this, I don't.
What do you think about them shooting a movie in space? Are you excited about that? The prospect of that? You don't care?
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm like,
I think that if you could do like a quality, like I don't know, it just seems like they're doing it for the right to be. Yeah,
that's what Charlie Danko just said.
I did it exactly.
Yeah. What's sad is they can actually make more realistic looking space movies not in space, right? Like look at this. I mean, it's pretty sad. It's gonna be like kind of like I don't know, like it looks better. They should do it on a soundstage where they did the moon landing. That would look, that looked good.
Dork.
Yeah, nice. I got caught up like watching the chat here for a minute. It's like Corbin saying like, "Let out Keanu Reeves play Hercules." He said Keanu Reeves was Hercules. He goes, "Matt's fluttering heart." And Matt's all like, "No, sir, that is an incorrect statement." Which is, all right. So, shooting Tom Cruise in space.
Shooting Tom Cruise in space? Sure.
Well, yeah, just shoot him up into space.
Deal.
Done.
Matt says they can leave him there. They can send Tom Cruise in space and leave him up there.
Point him towards Mars.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Send him on that first Mars trip out there. All right, folks. That about wraps it up for us. Is there any comments on any of the things we've done so far?
Top Gun, Space Run.
Oh my goodness.
That
Yeah.
couldn't be any more or less. It's no less interesting than the current Top Gun.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be an outrageous budget to send him up into space for one, and two, what's it going to be about? He's like, oh, he's doing experiments in a petri dish, and
Right.
he's peeing in a tube. All right.
Like you would have to have something that you can't produce in like CGI or
Right.
IRL for it to be like, oh, that's really cool.
There's no
Now I know
need
what
to
it
actually
really
be in
looks
space.
like.
It's a murder mystery. Somebody on a space station killed somebody. Wonder what room they're in. One of the 6. One of the 6 modules. I don't know. Where are they hiding? It's advice me to get a star, man. Nice. All right, guys. That about does it for us today. Make sure you check out the Absolute Geek podcast coming up here at 7:30. Our brothers from another podcast over there do their show every Friday night at 7:30 after ours. So check us out, and then be sure to go over there and check them out. And for those of you listening on Twitch or iTunes, be sure you want to see our lovely faces.
You mean Stitcher?
Stitcher. I don't know what I say. Twitch.
iTunes.
Mike,
Twitch.
My Twitch. I just set up a Twitch account. So that's why I'm like, I think I had it on my mind. But no, on Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. I don't know where you listen to this. Where you listen to me. Wherever you're at, you can go to YouTube and check us out. And check our faces out if you want to check. Of course, the numbers have spoken for themselves. They're not interested in watching us. I think it's like 10 times the number of people that watch us on YouTube for the podcast anyway listen to us. So
yeah,
they've voted, and apparently we're not. We got faces for podcasting. That's what.
Well, they could see my cat and my dogs if they come to YouTube.
I think we could get more people watching us if you had Armando run back and forth more.
Probably.
Like, do the little sneaky run back and forth out the door.
Do little dances, as he could say.
I love the stealth walk he does. Maybe you won't see him if he does the. Charlie Tango, thank you very much. We enjoy you guys. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. Share with your friends. And if you want to support us, the channel here, and the things that we do, Doug, there's links down below. What are those links?
We got one to our Teespring store where you can get our cool merch. One to our Amazon affiliate link. Do your binge shopping from quarantine through our link, and we'll get a little bit of a kickback. Or you can check us out on Patreon. Yeah.
I've been using the whole Amazon link lately as kind of like a extra discount. I'm like paying myself. We're ordering all my stuff, doing it through our link. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It's been fun. We'll begin next week where we might have a special guest. I've got Heath Foley, who's an artist, game artist from Panda Cult Games, who does the Shovel Knight board game. But he's designed miniatures for pretty much all the major game companies around. He's an amazing artist, and he does a live stream twice a week where he does his art. If you want to check it out, so he might be with us next week. We're hoping everything works out. So right now, that's what's happening. So be sure to check in next week for that, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye. Bobblehead.